by using the word science when they have not adhered to the scientific method, there is a qualification and definition for that very thing. That is, by definition, pseudoscience. You're a pseudoscientist, Becky. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
Not yet.
Seat of the pants.
Not ever.
Well, not yet is technically not
Guesswork?
ever either. So
Shout out to Cleary.
Well, this is a good segue. Can you go to Master B?
I can do, but I'm just going to do a quick shout out only because I watched this. So shout out to Cleary. He says, I flat smacked my mum. Lol. He did. And I've got to be honest, if you read my comment, Cleary, I was like, don't do it, don't. Oh, he's already done it. Oh. So check it out, Cleary. Thank you very much for the super chat. So Master B, yeah, I'm there.
All right. Well, Bev bought Dr. Becky's book, and it says Space, 10 Things You Should Know. 14 billion years for people short on time. Interesting.
Oh,
So it got on sale, and if you go to the first page of the preface, it starts right there. The wondrous thing about science is that nobody knows the right answer. But now, why would you ever buy this book if that's the preface?
That's her opener. Are you having me on?
Yeah.
Should we dwell on this for a bit?
Just read it.
Hold on.
I'm
Let's
just telling you.
go
Go
on,
ahead,
chocolate,
Nathan.
go on.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, so wow, the opening gambit is everything in here is gonna be nonsense because we can't know anything with science.
Okay, so this is the preface from Dr. Becky. It's worth the read. It's very short. I put all of it there. But go to the last slide. This is our good old friend Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he says, when different experiments give you the same result, it is no longer subject to your opinion. That's the good thing about science. It's true whether or not you believe in it. That's why it works. Those two have some problems to work out.
Right, should we correct Dr. Becky?
Sure.
well,
Please.
it's not the most outrageous thing she said, you know.
Hold on.
I think it was very smart what she said.
Wait,
What's
she's
the
made-
name of the book?
Made an error.
What is the name of it?
She's made an error on,
Space, 10 things you should know.
made an error on the
It is
second
Things you
word.
should know about the second law of thermodynamics violation. Copy that.
What she said there completely exonerates her from everything. What she said there means
Exactly.
that, like, oh, well, you know as much as I do because it's all a big mystery. That's basically what she said. And that way, so she can't be held to task on anything she's wrong.
Oh,
wrong
yes,
about
she
after
can.
that.
Yes, she can, and she will when I get a pause in this conversation. Yeah,
Okay,
she
shut
can. And she will be.
Go ahead.
Right here,
Have
right
at
now.
it, Nathan.
Okay, couple of things. Second word, wondrous. No. Science is an empirical method. It takes the wondering out of it. That's the point. It's an empirical method, Becky. I hesitate to call you doctor. So from now on, like Professor Phil Bell, just Phil. So, Becky, wondrous, no. Empirical, yes. Wrong in the second word. Science, that would be the establishment of cause and effect based on a hypothesis. That would be your presumption of a cause for a phenomena you observed in nature, yet to be validated. It will be validated upon experimentation. That would be you varying and manipulating the thing you think causes the effect to establish if it does or does not cause the effect. If it does, you have empirically, no wondering anymore, Becky, no wondering at all, empirically validated that which you assumed caused the effect as the cause of the effect. Science is empirical. If it wasn't, nobody would do it. Now, unfortunately, Becky's a pretender clown, a muppet, a pseudoscientist who hasn't got the vaguest clue what science actually is. She thinks it's wondrous. Well, I'm telling her it's empirical. You complete clown.
Well, she also stated a while ago, in a very curious moment, that she figured out that everything contradicts everything, but that's a good thing. Remember that?
It gets better, Arwen. The second paragraph starts with, science is all about posing the questions to which nobody knows the answers yet.
Wondrous.
No, science is
Don't
about...
forget, though, this is what astronomers do. They vary location, which means I can go over here and re-observe something in a different location, and I can wait for the clock to change in a different position, and I'm manipulating and varying stuff. Come on now. You guys don't understand this?
I'd just like to say, what I said about her being smart about what she said, what I meant by that is that, obviously Nathan is correct, but what I meant by that is that any claim she makes about the sky, if she's disproven on it, she's already exonerated herself.
No, she hasn't. All she's done is declared her misapprehensions about what she thinks science is. Science is all about posing the question to which... I can't read, that's too dark. Nobody knows the answer yet. Convincing people... Again, no. There's no convincing required if you have empirical scientific evidence. You don't need conviction when you've got empirical data. Your conviction's irrelevant, Becky. Convincing people that there is a right answer, well, if you've got experimental validity, you have an empirical cause. You don't need to convince them. You don't need to tell them it's right. It is right. It's been validated scientifically. Theory is based on scientific experimentation, not about what you've convinced people's right. You build a theory after you do experimentation. That's what a scientific theory is, Becky. You and your colloquial use of this word when you're prefacing what science is an absolutely outrageous statement to make. You should be stripped of all accreditation. Theory is based on scientific validity, which is acquired by systematic experimentation based on a hypothesis after observing natural phenomena for which you want to acquire the cause of it. Once you've acquired the cause of it, you can build a theory. She's clueless.
They all are.
I'm sure she'll get right on that after checking her emails to iTunes.
There's more pages. I take it there's more outrageous stuff for me to get my blood boiling about in this little
Yes.
book. What's the next page?
Yes. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here.
Was there something on the next page, or was that it?
Well, let me go on here. Talking in the same one, science is all about posing the questions to which nobody knows the answers yet. Convincing people that there is a right answer. Okay. Based on evidence and facts you, your colleagues, and your predecessors have collected to build a theory of the previously unexplained is the crucial bit. This means that science moves quickly, with theories maturing and sometimes even boomeranging as more evidence comes to light.
Boomerang.
Okay, so evidence in the scientific community does not just come to light. It doesn't come from discussion, peer review, or the opinions of people who think, like Becky, they are scientists. They certainly don't move quickly. The only time they move quickly is when you validate that which you assumed is your cause as the cause. Then they happen instantaneously because you've validated that which you assumed. However, it still requires systematic experimentation to validate that which has been validated in your experiment. So it requires other people to follow in your footsteps, do as you have done with your experiment, and validate the cause as the cause. That's not a quick process. Far from it. Now, if you're making up stories and sitting around monitoring your iTunes and email claiming to be doing science, you can discuss something about the sky, come up with a story in no time, and call it science. It isn't. The process, however, is an empirical process you can utilise to form theory if you have scientific validity to that which you have validated with experiments. Moving on.
Yeah, well, let me keep reading because it gets good. I therefore might have misled you, reader, by saying the theories and facts outlined in this book are the 10 things you should know about space. They are all considered successes now, but who knows how they shall be perceived in 50 years. Perhaps our current theory of dark matter will be scoffed at by future generations, akin, here it comes, to our current disbelief that learned minds once thought the Earth was at the center of the universe or the atom could be split. Yet that doesn't mean we shouldn't treasure this knowledge now and wonders of our world that it lays here.
Oh, she just thinks that the dark matter theory is a scientific theory. Oh, well, Becky, let me be the first to correct you. That's absolutely not a scientific theory. It has not gone through the scientific method. The most you can do is observe phenomena. Not a theory. This is not science.
They take liberty with the word science and make it mean something it's not.
No. By using the word science when they have not adhered to the scientific method, there is a qualification and definition for that very thing. That is, by definition, pseudoscience. You're a pseudoscientist, Becky.
Yep. There's a lot more, but I think that's enough. I mean, everything else kills her.
Isn't Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity considered by mainstream science as an actual theory?
What, pseudo-Ramonian force space, you mean?
I'm just saying it, throwing the cat amongst the pigeons, because it is, and that's the problem. These things that aren't proper scientific theories are being labelled as.
No, they're not. No, it's labelled pseudo-Ramonian force space. It's very much labelled and categorised as pseudo. Precisely what it is.
But if you're somebody on the outside who doesn't know much about science, and you're told that Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity is a scientific theory, you're not going to know any difference between that and something that is validated.
You don't need the word scientific, you just say the word theory like Becky's done, claiming to be a scientist, and people believe you've got empirical evidence because you were taught in 5th grade what the scientific method entailed and what it produced. That would be empirical data. So when someone like Becky hijacks this terminology as the pseudoscientist that she is and says that she's got a theory, people automatically assume that she's got some sort of empirical evidence for what she claims. With this fast-moving, fast pace of people talking to each other to come up with their theories, which aren't scientific.